Happy Monday. And how do we live honestly? We've probably had that moment where someone has been dishonest with us and we know how that hurts. Or because of someone's dishonesty, we reap consequences that are really painful. But also, how do we live honestly with ourselves, with God? You know, sometimes it's hard to admit when we've screwed things up because it's embarrassing, or even to delve deeply into why do we have particular reactions to certain situations, or how do we respond when we feel like someone is interacting with us that, you know what, I don't think that this is honest, or I can't be honest with them. How do we begin to think about living our life honestly? And that's not to mean that you go around being mean to people or being like, no, that really is ugly. But instead, how do we understand honesty for ourselves? So for today, I've got Psalm 120, verses 1 through 3. I cried out to the Lord when I was in trouble, and he answered me. Lord, deliver me from lying lips and a dishonest tongue. What more will be given to you? What more will be done to you, you dishonest tongue? Sometimes it's easy to read that as you over there, but instead, how are we living with God honestly? In fact, I kind of touched on this yesterday in the sermon about really being honest with ourselves, about where we are, what we struggle with, about why we make certain judgments on others or even on ourselves, and about being able to bring all of that to God. And so that's where we begin. If we're thinking about how do we live an honest life, that we begin with God, about being real of where we struggle, being real about how things may be falling apart, being real that we don't always have the answers, or that sometimes we really screw it up. And so how do we begin to start that process? How do we begin that conversation? Will we begin that conversation so that we might live more honestly? Pray with me. Oh God, as we cry out to you, as often we are in trouble, help us, oh God. As we try to be honest with ourselves, we try to be honest with you, we try to live an honest life about being real of where we screw up, of where we feel challenged, of where and how we react to things that maybe says more about who we are than about someone else. Help us, oh God, this day to be honest about our lives with you and to have those conversations with you. Oh God, help us. Help us to be honest in our living. Amen. Have a great one.